What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Rage Traders NRL Supercoach podcast. Wolfie here. Hope you're doing absolutely amazing. Hope your round 19 went as splendid as mine. Yes, finally, I am here and I am back. 1,578 points without, might I add, any trades for the week. Shifting myself to 8,625 in rank, I boosted or went up 4,881 spots. So nearly 5,000 ranks I've gone up in 1 week, which is absolutely amazing. And what I've been looking for, to be honest, in the last 4 to 5 weeks, which just hasn't happened for me, some really unfortunate trades and just bad picks, in my opinion, on my part. But it all kind of came together in this week, as you can see here. And the best part about it is, like, if I did, like, I know I could have got more points by sacrificing Cooper Bye, who I knew was going to get a low score. He got injured as well, which hurt my AE. But I'm just not going to waste trades here. And I've got this feeling that towards the back end of this season, there's going to be a lot of people with no trades or one trade, and it's going to get super, super tough. So I'm trying to play this very, very safe and smart. I do have someone I really want to get in this week, but besides that, super, super happy. For those of you that's watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, comment for the algorithm. That always helps me out as always. And for those of you that are listening on Apple and Spotify podcasts, 5-star review does go a long way. Let's get into it though. Let's just go through my team and what I really loved about, I guess, my team last week or the week that's just gone past, and some things here. I'll reverse all my trades that I'm looking at doing. The big thing for me, I think holding Pasco was huge. As soon as I saw Verrills in the 18, I pretty much locked that in and said, okay, I don't even need to force anything there. So happy with that. Tapine, as I said to you, I'm going to hold him. I don't want to do too many trades in the front row forward position. Even with Payne Haas back this week against Penrith, I think he could easily get a 70 or an 80. But he also could just get a 60, 65. And I don't think I'm going to waste a trade there unless something happens with my front row forward position, which is Terrell May, Kolomatangi, and Tapine at the moment. 2RF was huge for me this week. Tallis Duncan going 104 and then Zach Hosking going 130, which I did not expect. This is awesome because Zach Hosking now becomes an upgrade to a premium target if I did want. But I don't know. I don't think they can. Maybe someone can let me know in the comments if Canberra even have a chance of making top 8. I don't think they do. But even with their draw, just looking at it, they now have South in round 20 at home. They then have West Tigers in round 21 at home. So you could hold them for another 2 weeks and look and shift them on. But even they verse Newcastle in round 23 at home. They have Broncos in round 25 at home, who could be completely shot by then. And then they have North Queensland away in the last game. So obviously Penrith away is tough in round 22. They have a bye in round 26. But maybe just for a couple more weeks we can hold on to these Raiders players, and maybe this is the time you could look at getting Hudson Young in for these sort of matches. But I'm not sure if I'm going to get him in for like kind of 2 or 3 matches only towards the end of the season, and maybe he cops a rest. So that's something I'm sort of monitoring there. Out of all the premium 2RFs, I think I like Lucas and Olakau'atu just a bit more, just because I think the teams are a bit better, but that's just me. And we don't know what's going to come off a massive win against the Bulldogs, which we'll get into. Ryan Couchman's still in my team, and Xavier Willison's still in my team. Willison was my loop player this week. And the most unfortunate thing was here is I had a beautiful Makasini 54, but Cooper Bye, he comes in with a 7 after getting injured in the game, which really, really hurt me. But it is what it is. Maybe I should have moved him on a few to 3 to 5 weeks back, but I just said I was going to hold him and not worry about it too much. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It would be great for me if he was out for a lengthier period, because then I don't have to worry about his low scores. Tamari Martin, Purdue. This was the big thing. If I brought in Olakau'atu last week, I would have had to sacrifice a reserve, and that was going to be Purdue. and that was 100% what I was doing. And I said, look, I still believe in Purdue. I think he could get a 40-50. He ends up getting a 77. So that's an absolutely massive decision there. Really happy with that. And I think the Cowboys are going to strike some form, and we could look at possibly going back to a Drinkwater. They have Broncos in round 21, Dolphins in round 20. They then have the Roosters at Queensland Country Bank Stadium in round 22. I mean, Gold Coast in round 23 at Gold Coast home. Then they have Parramatta. I'm feeling a bit of drinky action. Now, whether it's straight away, whether it's now, I'm not sure. Where are we actually at on the ladder? Let's have a quick look, because this does matter. And we're playing, we could be playing finals footy. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. We're 8th at the moment. So Seagulls on 22 points, Cowboys on 24. And to be honest with you, we've got Dolphins and Rabbitohs on 24. Then we've got Sharks and Knights on 26. So crazily, like, there's still a chance Cowboys can be in the top 4. I know the chances of that are very minuscule, but a chance is a chance. So that's something I will be looking at. The 3 fullbacks home for me. I think I'd be leaning towards a Scotty Drinkwater, possibly a Tedesco. Their draw's quite nice. I know they might have some restings there, but still quite nice. And most probably a Ponga. Those 3 would be great. I know I have Turbo. He's been okay, but still he's going to make some money. And if I have trades in the bank, if I can just play it a bit smarter, then that could be good. The biggest letdowns for me this week are Garrick with a 52. That's okay. But nothing to be sort of crazy happy about. The big one, Marju, I mean, 4 rounds ago, people were trading him out at $700,000 to $800,000. And he's come crashing down, and I wish I traded him out. But we looked at the draw. We believed he would get solid scores. And again, a bit of a Clint Gutherson episode where, you know, Clint Gutherson last season was scoring massive points at the start. People got on, thought this was the thing. Same thing happened with Marju. It's been going sideways. I still have Jack Bostock in my team, so he will be a trade out, I think, soon. I'll still measure that up. Anything could happen in the week where we might have to trade a newly injured person out. But again, so happy with my team. Cleary, Hynes, that'll be sitting there for the rest of the season. And obviously, I've got Couchman and Willison to play with for a bit of upgrade. And Lukey, who's been still very good, who I think could be, honestly, a season keeper in my opinion. And I say that with Purdue as well. I don't think I'm going to move them. That was something I settled on like 3 to 5 weeks ago. I thought everyone, even Chester, was someone who I was very reluctant to trade. Maybe that was the best move. But yeah, that's my team in a nutshell. 9 trades are left at the moment with 1 boost to go. So if I can play this week really smart, maybe only do 1 trade, see if any carnage happens, anything crazy, and then reserve the boost for next week and then kind of sit tight. That's what I'd be looking at doing. But let's get into the wrap up. Let's go into last week, the week that was round 19, Tigers versus the Warriors. Tamari Martin, 107. I said it, I don't know, for those of you that were watching me at the start of the season, there was a podcast and a video where I said, who's that guy from New Zealand Warriors? I forget his name. I just had a mind blank because I was completely in love with Tamari Martin. And I said, if this guy gets a start, he needs to be in everyone's Supercoach teams. Funnily enough, he got the start and I didn't put him in my team and he started going crazy. I got him in a few weeks later. This guy is a possible season keeper now if Metcalf doesn't show a return. And if you're sitting in the New Zealand Warriors office, why would you bring Metcalf in? The only time I would bring Metcalf in is if Warriors are playing really average footy and you want to boost in a bit more creativity and something different to make an impact, kind of like what you see Maguire do with Ezra Mann, but on a completely different level. Yeah, that's the only time. So at the moment, Tamari Martin is a season keeper. I'm not moving him anywhere. He's in the 5/8 position. If Cleary or Hynes did get injured, he can just move up. That's absolutely huge as well for coverage. So yeah, he'll be sitting there. 107 points, absolutely huge. I'll bring up some stats as well so we can go through them because obviously some massive scores this week, especially by one Nicholas Hynes that we will need to talk about. If you don't have him, it's getting really tough now. Cam Pereira with a 99. That's absolutely huge. I think he had did he have a hat trick in this one or a couple of tries? Not sure. Didn't get to watch this game, but he returns some favor to those of you that held on because he had some very mediocre scores there. Pompey's been great. Someone who I wanted to get in my team that I didn't do a few weeks back, and that was just based on the Roger Tuivasa-Sheck season-ending injury, and he was goal kicking at the time. Paid off if you've gone there, a 92 from him. Laban has hit some really nice form here. I know that I use a site called NRL Fantasy Stats, but it just gives me everything I need. And just stats wise, this guy's going 35 tackles, 49 tackles, 26 tackles. He had 160 meters last game. Only 3 missed tackles where he usually has a bit more in the last 2. 6 tackle busts, which is absolutely huge against the Tigers. 1 try assist, 2 line breaks. I mean, it's when he gets some attacking stats, the scores are there. The scores are there. So very nice from Laban. I think too late to go there now, but if you held on to him, congratulations. Aaron Clark gets a try in this one for an 85. You know what? We're talking about FRFs. I know he got a try in this one, but Fisher Harris, I spoke about him being a bit of a pod. Maybe a bit late to do it now, but 82 here from him. Very nice to see with a try. Leotawa, 79, but we don't read into that too much. Chance Nickel Cookstad, he gets a 59 here. Nothing else much here to talk about for the Warriors. All the high scorers at the top, obviously, and all the main guys. Going to the Tigers, it's getting dim. But Twal and May, they share 71 in Supercoach points, top scoring. Makasini with a 54, which funnily enough was better than Herbie Farnworth's score, was better than Marju's score. Didn't expect that, but it happened. But honestly, Supercoach-wise here for the Tigers, the only people we're really focusing on is Terrell May, Alex Twal, and Dewey for me. Dewey gets a 48 in this one, and in a game where they lose 32-6, that's okay. Is Twal a must-have? I don't think he's a must-have yet. He's still got 101 break-even. You can wait there just for maybe 1 week or so, or wait until the bye. So if you don't know, they do have a bye. I'm pretty sure it's round 23 for memory. No. Yeah, round 23. So the good thing is they have Bulldogs away, Canberra away, Parramatta bye. The problem is it's in an awkward spot where it's kind of in between the middle of these rounds. So you're going to get them if you get them after the bye, it's going to be St. George at home, Sydney Roosters away, North Queensland away, Penrith away. Now, if they do play, they likely will versus a Penrith team that is undermanned. Because I assume Penrith will be already having first spot. But if that is not the case, they may verse a Penrith team that needs to get the win to get first place. So read into that as much as you will. I think I don't think teams really care for the minor premiership, but we'll have to wait and see. That's a bit of a while away. But yeah, just take that as a bit of info for the buy and how you want to play around the Tigers players. Talking about a bit of a smashing Sharks 66 versus Dolphins 0. Didn't expect this one coming. Herbie Farnworth 36. That really, really hurts for those of you that captained him. Didn't expect a scoreline like this for sure. Nicholas Hynes 196 Supercoach points. Let me read out the stats for you because these type of plays deserve a bit of a readout. And obviously he carved up in fantasy all round. 2 tries. 3 try assists, 1 line break, 3 line break assists, 17 tackles, 3 missed tackles with 1 turnover only, 83 meters game, 3 tackle busts, 2 offloads as well. So yeah, just completely running amok in this one. And he was my vice captain. Hopefully he was your vice captain or captain as well. Jesse Ramian, 125. As I said, don't read into that too much. I don't expect that from Nicholas Hynes or him constantly and consistently. But talking about their draw structure, one of the nicer draw structures over the end of this season is the Sharks. So if you want to pay attention to that, they do have high previous rounds. Someone told me about that. They have Newcastle at home. They then have Manly away, Souths at home, St. George away, Canberra at home, Gold Coast away, Parramatta away, Melbourne at home. So if you wanted to line up and say who are some of the best teams that have the best draws to end, Sharks is definitely up there, possibly the best team. So read into that as you may. Maybe Sione Katoa is someone we could look at getting with a negative 16 break even instead of looking at Ronaldo Mulatalo. Maybe Sione Katoa is the play. Maybe that right edge is just getting a bit more love, as you can see with Ramian. You've got Nikra there. You've got Sione Katoa there. That's really good. Now, Braden Trindle, only 66 in this game for her 66-point scoring team is interesting because he controls a lot of the ball, but seems that Hynes was the one doing everything here. Blake Praley, a 66 also. That's fine in a game like this. It wasn't very grindy, so you'll live with that. Trey Fuller tops with 71 for the Dolphins, by the way. Finafuyaki, for those of you that went there, in a game where they got absolutely demolished, 58. You'll take that any day of the week. Asako, he'll drop a bit in price. He also has an 111 break even. But as I said to some other people, it's not time to really worry about break evens unless you're really strapped for cash. But yeah, for me, you could make a play at some of the Dolphins players if you wanted. They now have North Queensland into a bye though, so you have to wait until that round 21 bye. They then come into St. George, Broncos, Manly, Parramatta, Sydney away, and Gold Coast away, and St. George away and Manly away for those two games as well. So that could be a nice little run there, but in my opinion, you're definitely waiting until round 22 to just miss out on that round 21 bye. Let's go to the next game. Because I don't think there's anyone here we really want to speak about that's Supercoach relevant that we're bringing in from either one of those two teams at the moment. Bulldogs versus the Raiders. I did not expect this one. 40-16, the Raiders come out. One of the underperforming teams versus another underperforming team that's trying to make the top 8. Wow. Zach Hosking, 130 points. Absolutely huge. Ethan Sanders, 103 points. Owen Paddy, 78. But Hosking, what a hold. What a trade-in. So happy about this. Told you guys about him at about 460,000 when he was back. Same as him and Tallis Duncan. These two guys have been really good for me and sort of kept my season intact with consistent scores. Tarpanay, 61. Obviously, I'll live with that. Noah Martin back from obviously, I think it was round 8 or round 12 injury. 76 points with a try. Timico's been great in some games, 62. So if you're a Timico owner as a pod, congratulations. I mean, 40 points they score and he only gets 62, but I don't think he's anyone you're just back-breaking to get or breaking backs to get to. So yeah, nothing crazy here. I think Sasagi is a very interesting topic. I did say last week that Tallis Duncan is the new Sasagi. $621,000 with an 87 break even is now the time to get him. With their draw, they've got Souths at home, West Tigers at home, into Penrith away, Newcastle at home, Sharks away. So some pretty nice matchups there, and it could be the time to maybe lock him in and just get him in for your team and sort of say, okay, I'm locking in now. Maybe it's the Hudson Young Sasagi play. Also, I wanted to see, so Raiders are currently 12th on 18 points. Now, need to be some wild things to happen, but they could make a bit of a run here. And you never know what can happen in the NRL. So stand by and watch that. The biggest talking point for me is just the Bulldogs losing again. Salmon, is it Salmon or Salmon? I'm just going to go Salmon. Salmon. What's his first name? I always forget. Jamin Salmon. I'm going to say it like that. 90 Supercoach points. He beats the top scoring or the second player by 28 points. That shows you how bad the Bulldogs were. Preston comes back for a 58, but I honestly don't think we can go to him with the way they're playing. I was thinking about this the other day. Viliami Kikau, he'll be back soon, but man, they really suck without like an impact 2RF. Like as soon as they lost Tilly to Panua, that really hurt them as well. But yeah, honestly, again, Supercoach wise, I'm not looking at Burden. Crichton got injured in this one pretty badly from what I know. Kiraz, he was just way under par for a 32. So there's only so much you can do when your team gets walloped by about, 24 points or so or more. So yeah, really tough there. And again, I'm not looking at too much from the Canberra Raiders besides a Hudson Young who played 55 minutes and a Sasagi, to be honest with you, at this point in the season. Let's go to the next one. Roosters versus the Eels. This was a very, very bad game from the Roosters. I know they won 28-12. They had a lot of errors in this one. Tupou gets a hat-trick for 94. Billy Smith, he's been playing good footy in that. That left edge has been quite good. Ramsey, Supercoach point says 67. He could have easily had 110 this game. Very close to some more attacking stats. Nafahu White, 66. Nice to see. Hugo Savala, he's been playing great footy. Marky Mark, again, only a 63 in this one. They had a bit of a game plan that whenever it got chipped or bombed to the side of Mark Nwanganita-Waze, that they would just jump up and tap it back or out and just not give him a chance at catching it. Kind of worked, but obviously not scoreline-wise. Toya only a 61 in this. He was close to another try as well, but still, he could be someone you look for on the run home if you wanted a pod. Jack Williams top scoring the whole game for this 102 Supercoach points, which is absolutely wild. And I'm not even going to go into anyone else from the Parramatta Eels, to be honest with you. Looking at their draw, though, looking at the Parramatta Eels, they have a bye in round 20, so you can't touch that, obviously. So we're waiting until after Penrith in round 21. They then have West Tigers away, Souths away, North Queensland at home, Dolphins away, and Sharks at home into St. George away. So I'm not reading too much into that. Volkman, a 6. He must have got injured in this game if that's what I saw there. Maybe I missed out on something because I didn't get to watch the start of this game. Maybe someone can let me know there. Why is that only a 6? And that's it. That is it for the Roosters versus the Parramatta Eels. DCE only getting a 39 in this one. He just, very weird. Just not a Supercoach player in my opinion in some games. All right, let's go to the next one. Great win here. Didn't really expect this, but Dufty 125 points, topping the score for a 26-24 win from the Rabbitohs. Rabbitohs playing some good on and off footy. They now stand in 6th position on the ladder, so they're looking to play finals footy. Tallis Duncan, 104 points. He's been great wherever he goes, and the 2RFCT dub duality is huge now for us, especially on the run home. David Fafita, for those of you that went there, he's been striking some good numbers. Just needs the minutes. 91 points here. Keon Kolo-Matangi, 85 points here. Huge. This guy's just been an absolutely amazing trade-in, and I think he's the new Payne Haas. And I know a lot of people are getting Payne Haas in, but I think with Terrell May, Colo, and Tarpanay in my team, I just don't think I need to waste a trade on a Payne Haas. I want to see what they look like against Penrith. Maybe he's given up on the season. Maybe a lot of them have given up on the season already, especially if they lose against Penrith, the season is over. So maybe it's just a bit of a wait and watch. He's most probably thinking about just getting to South Sydney as quickly as possible and getting away from the club in general. The only backfire is to that Maguire's most probably looking at running him into the ground and making a finals run. Ashton Ward, 43, for those of you who haven't. Cameron Murray, 47. I think he went on report in this one, but it won't be anything serious. Campbell Graham, 71 with a try. You know what I'd really like for them to do in the match center, and I think this would be really great, is just have a bracket with a number next to the people. So if Kalen Ponga scored 2 tries, it's got like a bracket next to his name and it's just got 2. That I know it's not going to list all the attacking stats, but it'd just be so good to see like, oh, he scored 2 tries in this one. That's why his number is high. But then for like let's just say a Dylan Lucas, we could see an 85 with no bracket and maybe know that he's got 85 with no tries and like maybe it's just base and a try assist or something like that. I wish they did that, but that's just my opinion anyway. Don't read into that too much. And I'm not going to speak about anything but maybe Brandon Smith, 24 points. I think he had 12 missed tackles in this game. Pretty wild. Greg Marju, he's going to be out of my team. I'm so over owning him, so I just can't be bothered watching him anymore. Dylan Lucas and Ponga are the ones to really focus on for the run home, in my opinion. Lucas looks amazing. Olakawatu looks amazing. Ponga looks amazing. These 3 guys, I think, would be great run home candidates. And nothing else much here to talk about. Fletcher Sharp, I think he should be playing in the 5/8 position. I think he's been chucked around too many times, kind of like a Purdue. Just get him in. He needs to touch the ball the most amount of times with Ponga, and that would be your best way to get the Knights attack rolling, but that's not happening. Wait and see if that changes. Dylan Brown also with a 94, which is good for the owners that randomly own him. All right. For some reason, my Supercoach just randomly refreshed, but the next game, the Cowboys versus the Sea Eagles, 19-18 to the Cowboys. Boy, oh boy, I got to watch the back end of this game. Very happy. Drinkwater slotting it to get us a very important 2 points. Olakau'atu topping with a 90. As I said to you, I was going to trade in Olakau'atu. He was my only target last week, but I had to take the reserve off Purdue, who got a 77. So if I did that, I would have been pretty unhappy. So happy with that. Purdue gets 77, but Olakau'atu gets 1 try in this and a 90. Great for owners there. Turbo 74. You'll live with that for sure. I actually thought this was going to be a much higher scoring game, and I thought Sea Eagles would win, but Cowboys hitting a bit of a stride here. Cooler 70. Hopewadi 61. Garrick 52. Garrick's been a bit of a bad trade in for me as well. Again, someone who doesn't have the highest of bases, and just not having the goal kicking is hurting a bit. So that's just something I've got to look into next season in terms of how I just trade in people based off the draw and draw alone, but their premium status isn't really there and the form isn't there. Something I'm really going to look at heavily for next season. Nothing much here. Ben Turbo, I think he got a shoulder injury from memory, so he's out with 5. That sucks. He was also a possible trade target for me, so I'm glad that didn't happen. That was last week before their easier match. I forget who that was against. I think Eels. So glad I didn't do that. Cotter 74, huge. Braden Burns 113 points, very massive here. This guy's putting up some big Supercoach numbers here and there, and it's not expected. Chester 59 with a try. That has really dropped off from where he was at the start of the season. Lukey 65, I'm happy with him. I'll hold him. He was also close to a try in this one. That would have been great. That would have boosted him up 80 plus. So I think he's going to be a hold for the season for me, in my opinion. And I'll be moving like someone like a Ryan Couchman and Xavier Wilson on as my 2 upgrade targets. Nothing else to talk about here for the Sea Eagles and the Cowboys. Last game of the week, Storm versus the Titans, 22-18, and Storm did not play great footy, and Titans were in here looking to win. Some errors here and there. Far logo gets junk at the end for a 78, so you'll live with that. Is it time to look at moving on? Far a logo? Well, that's up to you, but when I look at their draw, Sydney Roosters away, Souths away, Bulldogs at home, Manly at home. I think you could look at moving him in round 24 on the bye, but until then, having Roosters away, who looked average against the Eels, Souths away, Bulldogs at home, who just leaked 40 to Canberra, and Manly at home, I think I'm going to wait through that. Not 100% sure. I really am not 100% sure. Someone like a Teddy could be very nice as well. We'll have to wait and see, because we really need to now and get the right people for the run home. Going into, well, the big news is now that Cameron Munster is out for 6 weeks undergoing knee surgery, I think it was. This is going to bring Wishart into the team heavily. Looking at their draw, they now have the Sydney Roosters away, which is going to be very tough. Marky Mark, here we come. Souths away, Bulldogs at home, Manly at home, bye. So I know I just went through that with Far Logo, but thinking of that with Wishart, is that a possible play? 5/8 position and halfback coverage, I'm not sure. I don't really trust the Storm this season. One game they look like they're playing under 12s. The next game they look like they're the old Storm with Pappenhausen. So I just don't trust it as yet. You know who's been playing great Supercoach footy? Mo Fotuaika. I think you got to try in this one as well for an 82. Keanu Kinney could also be someone we look at with the Gold Coast Titans. They have, I think, a bit of a better draw coming in. So they've got Manly at home, St. George away, New Zealand at home, North Queensland at home, Newcastle away, Sharks at home, Souths at home, Dolphins at home. Read into that as you may, but Keanu Kinney, is that someone you're possibly, maybe a little pod? He's 726. When did this happen? How did he get to $726,000? I don't know. I actually maybe we just haven't been paying attention. Pascoe 89 was huge. Campbell got an intercept try for this one, so it makes me just go hold off a bit on this 80 here, but owners will be super happy. Fermor looked really strong in the start of this game, kind of dropped off. Tino, a lot of people talking about bringing him in. I don't think he's a play. Unless I see more from him, I just wouldn't do it. He gets a 54 in this one, and nothing else more to speak about Supercoach wise for the Titans. Going back to the Storm, Harry Grant, he came on about the 20 to 30th minute in this game for a 37. He threw the intercept try to Jaden Campbell at like the Gold Coast 10-15 meter line. So that would really, really hurt obviously him and the Storm, but lucky they still got away with the win. And honestly, nothing up much to talk about. Cooper Clark, if you wanted to venture there, 62 points. He now has 465,000 with a 27 break even. You could look at that. Alec McDonald, he got a try in this one for 74. Nick Meaney also topped for 86, but again, I don't read into him too much. And that is your round 19 wrap up for last week. Going into my team and who I'm looking at getting as targets, I think I'm just going to start pulling the plug and going a bit heavy. Really looking at getting the team set up. So for me this week, there's one obvious target. And this is just for me personally. You may not agree, but I think it's time I need to get Tommy Jenkins into my team. Looking at Penrith Panthers, they have the Broncos at home, Parramatta away, Canberra at home, New Zealand away, Sydney at home, Melbourne away, Bulldogs at home, West Tigers at home. And I thought about this. If Thomas Jenkins, if he's close to breaking the record in the last game for the most amount of tries in an NRL season, like if he's one try off, I reckon they will play him. I really, really do. So I'm loading up on that. I think how I'm going to do this is Bostock is going to go out. I'm then going to get Marju out. I might nuff to Walsh, get Thomas Jenkins in, and then maybe possibly look at getting Holmes out or Garrick out for Marky Mark. I think I really want the Roosters this week. Tedesco and Walker. I think Walker is back, but Tedesco is not. But yeah, I'm definitely getting in Jenkins this week. That's going to be a play for me. And from then on, whether I sit tight a bit, I don't know if I want to boost to go to 6 trades when we still have, it's still round 20. So, we've got 7 rounds left. If I go to 6 trades, it's basically 1 trade a week after that. But yeah, got to wait and see. I'll come out with the strategy and the trades video, but that is my wrap up. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thanks for obviously supporting the Rage Traders. Thanks for supporting me, and good luck with round 20. Let me know your trades in the comments below. Let me know how many trades you have left and if you have any boosts left. I'll see you on the next one. Wolfie here from the Rage Traders. Peace.